Dear fellow students, today we'll be covering module 5, which is the eggs. The topic we'll be covering more about the eggs. So, as you know that I always suggest that as you start watching the video, ensure that you have your pen and scribbler ready to take down the necessary points that you feel like they will be more meaningful to you. So as we dive into the module, so guys, please be patient with the videos. So the videos are as short as simple. The reason I'm doing this videos at least not exceed 2 hours each topic. You will realize that each topic by any means that they do not exceed 2 hours. Max it's 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, not more than that, but I think max was 1 hour 30 minutes. So ensure that you subscribe, you like, so that you can get the heads up about what is uploaded next, because I've been uploading I will be uploading different courses. I'll be uploading different videos. So I'm still planning something. So hopefully you're gonna see before this week. Probably during this last week before the examination, probably we'll be seeing more videos because I've been preparing these videos, I've been preparing these notes. So number one, as we dive in, so into eggs. So basically eggs are categorized, or they are classified according to the quality, according to the grading. So based on the quality, they are based on the quality or based on the grading, which is the grading it's according to the mass. And I'm saying grading, like there are varieties of eggs, which is they differ in mass, in grams, in weight, due to structural differences. So according to mass, so we got the peewee. The peewee is less than 33 grams. Please note it down that the peewee, according to the mass, the eggs that we classify according to mass, the first one will be the peewee, which is less than 33 grams. Then the second one will be the smaller mass, which means it's also 33 grams plus. So this one, probably anything less than 33, which is the peewee. The peewee, it's anything less than 33. Then the smaller one, the smaller egg, it ranges as minimum as 33 grams to as max as 43 grams. So the medium ranges as minimum as 43 grams to as max as 51 grams. So the large egg ranges from as 51 grams to as large as 66 grams. So we got extra large, which is it might consist of not just a lot of grams, but about 8 grams. So extra large, the difference between large egg and extra large, the difference is 8 grams. Then the jumbo, which is the largest of the largest, it's about 66 grams plus. So it's about 66 grams plus. So according to quality, we got extra quality, which is the white eggs that we normally purchase on Woolworths. So when we say quality, you can say extra quality is the one that is being purchased from Woolworths. You know that the eggs that are purchased from Woolworths are what? They are the ones that they are extra, they consist of extra quality, they are super quality. So these eggs are picked with 7 days, very high quality. That means they consist of all the amino acids inside. They are very clean. All eggs consist of all different amino acids from proteins, but this one they are extra fresh from the chicken, which is not less than 75. So they still consist of higher vitamins than other eggs because they are fresh from the chicken. So the grade A or the grade 1 egg, this they are normally good quality, normally are clean and fresh. So the grade 1 eggs, they are normally good quality, they are clean and fresh. So the grade 1 eggs, those are the ones that are good, are normally clean and fresh. Then the grade 2 or the grade B. So the grade B, they are the ones that consumers normally purchase on normal retails. So the grade 2B are the ones that we normally buy. They are not clean, but they are also not bad. So the reason they are classified according to grade 2B or grade B, it is due to they are not cleaned, they are pegged in the containers, so without them being cleaned. So the other one is that the grade 3C, which is these ones, they are bad or they are damaged. They have damaged cells. So you might find out that this type of eggs, when you buy them on a tray, you would always find those ones that they have cracked inside the containers. You will always find that one random egg that cracked, and you ask, or if you try to remove it from the container, it sticks, then it eventually breaks as you pull. So those are the grade 3 or grade C. The reason they break there because of their grade C class or grade 3 class, which is they are bad and they always damage. So how do you get rid of them? You normally have to sell them to the nearest of baking industrials, so where they normally are going to be used as quickly as possible. So the difference between the eggs, we know that it is due to nutritional value, color of the eggshell, the color of the egg yolk, and the fertility in the egg. So that's what makes them different. As I've said, the extra quality that we purchase on Woolworths, it contains more nutritional value, and it has a different color from the others, and the egg yolk is not the same as the other eggs, and also its fertility. Remember, we said this is being harvested within 7 days of the chicken laid, so they are normally processed as quickly as fast as possible. So that's what makes them different from others. So we as we have just covered the egg qualities of an egg, the grading and the quality of eggs. So we'll be focusing on the purchasing points, of the eggs, which I think I have skipped the egg storage, but I think it is there. So we will be focusing on the purchasing points of the So as we are saying that, okay, the topic number 2, which is the purchasing points of the eggs. So when we are looking at the purchasing points, so guys, the purchasing points, they always consist of something that are similarities. You always know that when it comes to purchasing points, these purchasing points, they might carry 3 same points, which is everything that you buy, it must not be damaged, it must be on a good condition. It must always smell fresh. You cannot buy something that smells bad, just something that is damaged, that's something that does not look fresh. So all the purchasing points in catering, they consist of these 3. So already if you know these 3, even if they ask 5, you're already going to be able to give 3 because they are similar. They 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 are not similar, but they are just common. Generally, they are something that they are common in every aspect of purchasing any product. So as you purchase any product, you're always gonna consider these 3. They're always there. If you check different types of purchasing points, you will find that the damage is always there, the smell is always there, so the freshness of something is always there. So ensure that you take these first 3 points down as your strength before the other ones. The other ones can follow, but as long as you know these 3 ones, you are safe. You can secure your spot for that 3 marks. Even if the question comes 5 marks, you already know that you have beaten the marker. Even if you struggle, the 2, it will be easy for you to guess or to remember the 2 from any particular purchasing points of different products. So the purchasing points of the egg, the first one is that the shell has to be clean and undamaged. So this is the first one that I said that you should note. Everything that you purchase must be undamaged. Number 2, it must have a pleasant fresh smell. So anything that you buy should have a pleasant fresh smell. So number 3, which is point number 3 on the purchasing points of eggs, is that the egg white must be thick and clear. So when it comes to the eggs now, you know that, okay, the egg white, and I'm purchasing the eggs, the egg white must always be thick and clear. It must always be thick and clear. So what do they mean about thick? Your egg white cannot be like your egg white cannot be like liquid form. Yes, it's sort of like liquid, but it must always, if you see it, it's like it's thick. When you are breaking it, it does not like slips inside the pot like liquid. So it must always contain that texture of an egg. So this is the basically what they are referring to. Then the white large portion to thick white. So when it is cooked, it must be white, obvious. The egg yolk must be situated in the middle. So in every egg, the egg white must be situated in the middle. So you cannot find the egg aside the egg white. It does not make sure. So always ensure that when you are looking for purchasing eggs, if ever your eggs they got egg yolk aside, it does not make sure. It has to be returned to the store. So methods to test for freshness of egg. So how do you test for freshness of egg? So this one, I always say, I think it must be something that you do practically so that you cannot forget. So the reason why I say practical is because of once you do it, it can never go away. So always you will remember how to test if the egg is fresh or not. So basically, there's this method that I always remember the most, which is the placement in water. So when you are checking for the first freshness of egg, is placing it inside the water. So if ever it is in the middle, that means it is between the two, freshness and getting not in a good condition. But when it is floating, then it is on a bad condition. But when it is down inside the water placement, then it means that the egg is fresh. So the other one is breaking of the egg. So when you are breaking the egg, the shell should be hard by all means. So if the shell is hard, you would notice that you can break the shell, but the shell cover under the shell, I think you have seen when you were doing egg separation. So if ever you try to remove the eggshell, you will find that you can still see uh, the egg cover under the shell. There's this egg cover. It's like a egg cell. So breaking the egg, it is also a method to test for the freshness, and candling, it's also the methods for testing for the freshness of egg. So basically the examiner might want to give you 3 marks for just this, or asking you how can I test if the egg is fresh. So already you would remember that, water placement, I have to break the egg. Candling is one of the methods that you shouldn't forget. Candling, you can search what is candling. So I think everyone knows what is candling, so I'm not gonna be explaining candling. If ever you don't know, you can search what is candling. So the reason I say you must search it is because I think if you go and search it, it will stay more than me telling you. But I think I will sooner explain it. I think there's somewhere that I'm going to touch. So as we move to, I've already explained according to mass, according to quality. So difference between the eggs, then the egg storage. So now I'm on the egg storage. So which is how can we store our eggs, or where can we store our eggs, which is the most important aspect when it comes to eggs. You need to know how to check the freshness. You need to know how to select good quality eggs. You need to know how to store eggs so that they don't get damaged or rotten. So this part, or this topic, which is the storage, it plays they normally ask any. So the reason that you should know all the storages, it is because of the examiner might set any of all the covered 9 modules. So might ask any. So you need to know all of them by force. So those when it comes to storing, it should be in your blood. You should know how to store porridge, how to store eggs, how to store fats and oil, how to store cereals, how to store nuts, how to store vegetables. They should be all in your mind. And mind you, sometimes they might not ask you how to store the products, but they might ask you how do you store inside your refrigerator. Basically the examiner asking general knowledge, which is how do you store things inside your refrigerator. So basically you might overthink this and end up in writing wrong things. So you need to know how to store things in a Yeah, guys, so as I was explaining, when it comes to storing, so you need to know all the types of storing. So basically, when we are focusing on storing of eggs, so we are mostly focusing on protecting the eggs from getting broken, from getting rotten. So point number one, it is that it must be stored in their packing trays, belt and blunt and upwards. So you normally see that if you have refrigerators, they normally come out with that egg placement whereby they provide you with where you are going to store your eggs to prevent them from falling or damaging. So always remember that when you are storing eggs, they should always be stored inside their trays and upwards. So number two, it is that the storage in a dry, cool place refrigerator. You will remember that in module 1 I explained storage temperatures, whereby I made an example of anything that is below 5 degrees Celsius, that is a refrigerating or that is a cool storage, which is it is a normal storage which we use. But anything that exceeds 5, it's no longer a cooling storage, but it is a danger zone. So make sure that you remember the storage temperatures, because they might help you. So always that remember that the eggs are placed inside the refrigerator. So also the marker will credit you if you tell the marker that the eggs are stored in a dry cool place refrigerator, which is 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. So you get credited for that. Then the other one is you ensure that the shells are free from cracks. It's a mark. Do not store near smelling foods. So eggs should not be stored near smelling foods. Why? Because they will adapt the smell. Because eggs are so sensitive in such a manner whereby if you store them near smelling food, they will inherit the smell and end up getting rotten due to the smell. So the other point is that they should not be stored near smelly foods like cheese. Cheese would be the example that you can provide for the marker to see that you know what you're talking about. So eggs should not be washed. So when we are talking about the grading and the quality of eggs, how eggs should be clean and not clean. So basically, when the eggs are clean, they are not washed. So you cannot wash an eggshell. Why? Because it sort of reduces other nutritional value inside the egg. So eggs should not be washed by any cost. So do not wash eggs. So eggs should not be washed when storing. So you mustn't wash the eggs before storing. They are not like vegetables. So eggs are stored point end down. So you remember I said upwards. So they are stored in a point end down. That means the containers, they normally consist of the loophole whereby the egg would be pointed on the end down. So never stir eggs in the refrigerator's door. So like you shouldn't put them whereby if you open, there's a possibility whereby they will they will be rolling as you open the refrigerator's door. So always keep away from that. Then the last one would be remove the egg from the refrigerator hour before cooked. So this is basically what people don't know, but practice, as I said, catering is more of doing things practical. So the more you do them practical, the more it stays. So already from now on, before you cook eggs, you would know that you will take the eggs and put them hour prior before cooking them. So as you do that, it already will sink in your blood. Already you are following the right procedure of cooking the egg. So you before you prepare the egg, you place it outside the refrigerator prior before cooking it. So functions of eggs. So what can eggs be used for? So these are the most points that the examiner might want to know from you. What eggs can be used for. You don't want to miss these 8 marks. You don't want to miss that 6 marks. So basically the examiner likes this one the most on the question paper, asking what can eggs be used for, or the function of eggs in preparation of food. How can we use eggs into preparing food? So you already know that eggs, they do a lot of things, but those lot of things, they got terms that we need to use. So the first one being trapping the air. We use eggs for trapping the air. We use eggs for thickening. We use eggs for coating. We use eggs for glazing. We use eggs for enriching. We use eggs for garnishing. We use eggs for clarifying. So the last one will be emulsifying. So we use eggs for emulsifying. So always remember that how many there are: 2, 4, 6, 8. All the 8. The examiner might ask you the 8, just like they are. As soon as you remember that, no, functions of eggs: trapping air, thickening, emulsifying, coating, glazing, enriching, garnishing, clarifying. Even if you get the wrong spelling, the marker will credit you for the fact that you know the word, even if you didn't get the correct spelling. It's not about the correct spelling, it's about the understanding, the knowing of you, of what eggs can do. You get credit for that. So functions of eggs in different dishes. Basically, sometimes they might give you this table whereby they ask you, okay, they say match. They might say match. So when they say match, now they have already given you the functions of eggs. So basically you are going to match what you're going to match them according to products, or according to food that is being already cooked. So what do I mean by that? I mean, we already know that the eggs can be used for trapping air, but where is this trapping air taking place? In what product, in what processing of food does egg being used to trap air? When we talk about thickening, egg, in which form this part plays a role, or in which form where we will experience thickening, where egg is used for thickening. So basically you have to know these different dishes so that you can apply it more in a sensible way, whereby the examiner, even if they provide you matching column, you can match that. Oh, for glazing, we glaze scones, we glaze pastries. You need to know these types of dishes. So you can say, no, we glaze scones, we glaze what. Or they might say, give an example. Or you will find that the examiner already given you the functions of eggs. Now they want to know which products or what processing can this function take place, or where do they normally apply these techniques, apply this function when cooking food. So you would know that, when we are glazing, we apply this technique when we are glazing what So already you would know that, oh, when we are glazing scones, we are glazing scones. So when we are binding, when we are clarifying, we are clarifying the consomme. You would know what is a consomme. Consomme is according to nutrition. So I'm going to check my nutritional notes, but I remember consomme. I'm not pretty sure about what is consomme, but I will later explain it what is consomme. So for now I've forgotten the first term, but I know the first term what is consomme. So clarifying, it's normally used for consomme. And then emulsifying. What do we emulsify? What do we mean about emulsifying? So basically, when we are emulsifying, guys, it is the processing of making mayonnaise. So mayonnaise basically, it consists of eggs. In order for it to be that rich, in order for it to hold and bind into that creamy, it is due to this function of egg, which is emulsifying. So when we are emulsifying, so we give a great example of mayonnaise. So anything, when they say emulsifying, you'll remember that, oh, mayonnaise, they're basically speaking about mayonnaise. So when they're speaking about enriching, when you are enriching something, it's either you are enriching cakes, you can say sauce. So as you know that sauce, some other sauces, they are used to, they consist of egg. So when you're enriching a sauce, for it to stick, like when we are preparing fish, we normally use egg to enrich so the flavor, ensuring that the flavor sticks with that egg. So garnishing, we can use it on salads, boiled eggs. Remember, just remember boiled eggs. Oh, salads, yeah. We use boiled eggs. So thickening, sauce cream. As I've said, for sauce cream, we use eggs. For thickening, we can also say sauces or sauce cream. So aerating. So aerating. So normally this one we use it on sponge cake. So aerating, it is normally used for sponge cakes. So yeah, cooking methods for eggs. So how do we cook eggs? Cooking methods for eggs. So you remember that module 2 we discussed the cooking methods. Oh, by now I think you already know what is poaching, what is simmering, what is boiling, what is baking blind, what is baking, what is sauteing. So all those terms that I'm just speaking now, by now you already know them by heart. They're already on you. You already know. Even if they ask you what type of method did you use, you be like, no, I paused. So if they ask you to explain when you are poaching, you are doing what? You will tell that, oh, I'm doing the combination of steaming and boiling, which is under 85 degrees Celsius. So basically I'm going to obtain this outcome from doing this cooking method. So number one cooking method is poached. So poaching. So hard boiled, boiling, hard boiled, boiled or boiling. So soft boiled, scrambled, baked, deep fried, omelette. So omelette, they like this one. So, but as I'm folding in, I'm going to discuss it more and more. So those are the cooking methods for eggs. The examiner might want to ask this, you never know. So that is why always it is better to focus on the most relevant context of the examiner. So basically, if you check the exam papers, they always consist of something that the examiner will always ask. If something comes which is it has not been there, that means the examiner decided to make it a surprise. But you, by consuming a lot, you already going to be able to make it up. You're going to be able to make it up. So yeah. So the other one is, how is it supposed to be after the cooking methods for eggs? So basically, we are focusing on the ideal properties of poached eggs. So diving into the ideal properties of poached eggs. So ideal properties, it focuses on how the ending's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be firm white. Egg yolk is covered with the white egg layer, soft and creamy yolk, but set. A slightly acid taste may be detected, but not too strong. So that is the ideal property of poached egg. So it should be firm and white. The egg yolk must be covered by the white layer. The soft and creamy yolk to set. Then a slightly acid taste may be deducted, but not too strong. So going to the methods and preventions of eggs. How do we prevent eggs? How basically the methods, they are one of the preventions of eggs. So this one, I've seen it in the recent question papers. So the examiner asked about the methods or preventions of eggs. So the preventions of eggs or methods, it is that number one, because there are four, they might say explain, or they might say, okay, this one, they always ask about the green or the blue. It consists of the blue color. How do you prevent the egg from getting a green line or blue line? So basically, the examiner wants to know the method that it is used to prevent eggs having the blue or green line. So that's why I wrote the method or prevention. So when this question is asked, it's normally asked how they normally ask how to prevent blue liner or green liner. So all they are looking for is the method that is being used to prevent that from happening. How do you prevent that from happening? So number one is that you place the egg in cold water and bring the water to the boil. So basically, that's how you're going to prevent the eggs getting that green or blue color. Then number two, it is that the eggs can be put in the water, and when it starts boiling, remove from the heat. So when they start boiling, you remove them from the heat to prevent that blue or green liner or the shell from cracking. So number three, it is that place the egg into a boiling water. These eggs must be at room temperature, otherwise the shell will crack. So to prevent that green or blue liner So normally the reason the blue or the green liner takes place, it is due to boiling for a long time or over boiling of eggs, so that it will result to that blue or green line. So point number 3, as I was saying, is that you need to place the egg in a boiling water. The egg must be at room temperature before it is exposed to boiling, or before it is boiled. So it should be on room temperature. So you will remember the methods of preparing egg. You need to let it gain room temperature before it cooks. So you let it cool for 1 hour at the room temperature before you prepare it. So same applies here. The egg should be placed in a boiling water. So this egg must be at room temperature, otherwise the shell will crack. So it shouldn't exceed anything about 37 degrees Celsius to avoid the blue line or the green line. So the other one is that the egg will crack because of the air inside the acerbic expands when heated. So what causes this to happen? It is due to the air that is inside the acerbic eggs, which is, it will expand when it is heated. So it causes that blue or green line, which is what I think I've seen. What do they call that? So I'm just looking for that term that they normally ask on the question paper, but it's normally something like that. They will ask you about the blue, how to prevent the blue or green line, but yeah, I've seen something like that on the previous question papers. So but you would know that, I've given the methods, I've given the prevention. So the methods of preventing the blue liner or the green liner are the preventions, so can be converted into the preventions. So yeah, so now we are focusing on the 3 stages of boiled eggs. So the 3 stages of boiled egg, it is that on soft boil, the soft white, and it should be soft white and yellow, white slightly set, usually served in a shell for breakfast, usually served with toast. So it's normally boiled for 4 to 5 minutes. So basically what's important is the time. On the soft boil, the examiner might say on the soft boil, the egg is normally boiled for from 4 to 5 minutes. True or false? It is true. It is normally boiled from 4 to 5 minutes. So on the medium boiled, it also must have a firm white and soft yellow, looks similar to the poached egg, usually used for garnishing rice, salad, or eggs. So here the temperature on the medium, it was not indicated. So it is slightly that the examiner is always going to ask the soft boil and the hard boil between the two, because if something is not soft, it is hard. So medium is not considered as much when it comes to that type of questions. So maybe they might say the hard boiled, okay, you would know that the hard boiled should have a firm white and yolk, usually havel in length, with egg cutter and used for garnishing. So could also be pressed through, served, or grated for garnishing sauces and fillings. So it's normally baked for 8 to 10 minutes. So the hard one, it is normally baked for how long? For 8 to 10 minutes. So the soft one is normally 4 to 5 minutes. Basically the hard and the soft. So the soft temporary cooking time, it is multiply it by 2 to make it hard. So the hard temperature, it is it is doubled the cooking time of the soft. So as we move to the ideal properties of boiled eggs. So why do we focus on ideal properties? So when it comes to egg, the examiner might pick any. So the reason that you should know all ideal properties, because you cannot predict which one the examiner will choose. So you need to know all of them. So basically, what I've been always sharing, it is that if you follow our mighty vet world, you would know that we as mighty vet world, we do not predict. We fully consume information. We don't want to play guessing and what. So we fully take our knowledge seriously as possible. We need to know everything. We shouldn't be skipping other things. So the ones that are not explained, it's basically because of they are what we are already covered. So they are what like we can explain without looking inside the book. So that's the reason why we are doing this summary or explanation. So the ideal properties of a boiled egg are or should be white form, should have white forms and soft white gel. The egg yolk may be soft, medium or hard. The egg yolk is in the center of the egg. So you will realize that the egg yolk, it is always expected to be in the center of the egg. So no green ring. So here's this thing that I've been looking for. So you remember that the preventions and the method that I've just shared. So normally they will always ask you how to prevent the green ring or the blue ring. So once the examiner states a color and says the ring, you will already know those 4 points that I just shared. That you need to place the egg in the cold water, bring it to the boiling point. The egg cracks because of the acidic expands when it is heated. The egg, when place the eggs in the boiling water, this must be at the room temperature, otherwise the egg is going to crack. So basically you are now explaining the method that I've just said. I said it's either the methods or the preventions. Any of the two, it is correct. So the green ring or the blue ring. So examiner likes this one. How do you prevent the green ring or the blue ring? So always remember the points that I was just speaking about right now. So going to the ideal properties of fried eggs. So I just said that on the ideal properties, the last one of the boiled eggs, where that no green ring should be visible around the egg yolk or hard boiled eggs. So no green ring should be visible or blue ring should be visible. So the ideal properties of a fried egg, it is that they are rinsed and compact appearance, evenly coagulated, soft, tender. Egg yolk should retain its shape to be coated with a thin layer of cooked eggs with baking. White should be properly set. Egg should not be too greasy. So these are the ideal properties of fried egg. Egg should not be too greasy. White should be properly set. So yolk should retain its shape and be coated with a thin layer of cooked eggs. Cooked egg white from baking, so soft and tender. It must be evenly coagulated. So coagulated, you will remember the cooking method. When we said when something coagulates, it does what? It binds. So you will remember that So you will remember that when something coagulates, it means it starts forming bindings. So the ideal properties of baked eggs. So basically the ideal properties of baked eggs, so they are just similar to those fried eggs, nothing hectic about that. So the ideal properties of baked eggs, they are same as ideal properties of fried eggs. So you basically can use you can note the ideal properties of fried egg. So basically between the two, the examiner can just ask one. They are one of the similar thing. So but the boiled one is different from the fried one. As I've said, that it should not have a green on boiled egg, it should not have a green ring. Should not be a green, no green ring should be visible on the yolk. The yolk, it must be in center. The yolk must be soft and medium hard. The white form soft and white gel. So yeah, but when it comes to fried, the egg yolk should retain its shape and be coated with a thin layer. So it should be soft and tender, evenly coagulated. So it evenly coagulated, it means that ivuthiwe, kumele livuthwe iqanda, kumele livuthwe. So it must be raised and compact appearance. It must rise and have a compact appearance. So iqanda molipheka liyakhuphuka. So to have a compact appearance. So egg white should be properly set. Egg should not be too greasy and what's not. So now we dive into the ideal properties of scrambled eggs. So when we're focusing on scrambled eggs, what are we looking for? So we are looking for something that is soft and creamy, not crumble. So scrambled egg should not be crumble. It shouldn't, when you eat scrambled egg, it shouldn't rinse inside your mouth. So uniform yellow color, it should, scrambled egg well covers, well cooked. So it should be uniform yellow color. It should have no sign of syneresis. So syneresis, on module 2 we have said that syneresis, it's when something, it is what, it is overcooked, or it is bent. So between the two, that's sign of syneresis. It shouldn't be overcooked or bent. So now, what is omelette? So I hope that all the colleges, they've considered omelette as one of the recipes. So why am I saying this? It is true to, if ever they have considered this, it will be easy for you to remember. When it comes to omelette, it will be easy for you to remember. So we have two types of omelette. We got the plain omelette and the puffy omelette. So the puffy omelette, it is the one that we are going to be focusing more on, because I think the examiner likes it the most. So the plain omelette, it's like the same as cooking scrambled eggs. So you just fold it. You're just going to use it to fold something. But the puffy one, the egg, the egg white and egg yolk, it is separated. I think that we have done it during a practical, whereby you needed to separate the egg yolk and egg white, and then you had to beat the egg yolk with a lightly liquid until light fluffy. You remember following the egg stages. So the white is beaten afterwards. So the white was beaten afterwards. So at the same time, if beaten first, it was separated on standing. So you remember when everything was separated. So the white is beaten to a soft peak. So soft peak, you remember that it is supposed to be still to stand. So even if you can turn the ball down, it won't fall due to the soft peak. And then the fall of the yolk and white together pour into a preheated oiled frying pan. So after beating the egg in different egg stages, so you put them together into a pan, so to form a slightly puffy omelette. So to cook the top, either cover the pan with the lid. The omelette must not touch the lid or it will collapse. So it shouldn't touch the lid, otherwise it will collapse. So the top may be cooked in a preheated oven. So you remember that you preheated your oven and you inserted for about 5 minutes, if I remember. Yeah, but something like that. So focusing on the ideal properties of a puffy omelette. So basically the exam might ask you the ideal properties of the omelette, because I think he or she likes the omelette the most. I've seen the omelette appear many times into the previous question papers. So basically he might ask or she might ask ideal properties of a puffy omelette. So when I said ideal properties, you remember we said how something has to look like. So we are basically focusing on what it should look like, a puffy omelette. So you will already know a puffy omelette should look light. That's number one. You can say it should look light or puffy or spongy or starch. So it's one of the same thing. So don't write these 4 points on different point set. So looking light or puffy or spongy or starch is the same point. So you will find out that they will combine your answers. So light, puffy, if you said light, it falls for puffy and sponge. Then you may homogeneous, it's also the ideal properties. So what are we basically saying? If the omelette looks homogeneous, it means that it has a foamy texture. So you can just say a foamy texture. The omelette, the puffy has a foamy texture. It has a slightly damp. It's even golden brown color. It must have a even golden brown color. So the top surface must remain yellow in color. So the top should always remain yellow in color. The even omelette puffy should be golden brown color, slightly damp. It has a light puffy or spongy texture. So those are the ideal properties of a puffy omelette. So 2 types of custard. So the reason I decided to add on this one, we never know, because I think that the examiner, we never know what terms or what will he or she be thinking setting these two, but at most scenario they just don't appear on most question papers, but they have appeared. So basically you need to know the 2 types of custard. We got the soft pouring custard, which is the creamy and lazy, and the gel type baked custard, which is the creamy caramel, creme brulee. So these are the 2 types of Yes, so as I was saying that, speaking about the difference between the castards, uh, we know that the soft pairing custard, so basically the the soft pairing custard, how it is prepared, it is the one that it is prepared. So I'm going to read the steps of how it is prepared, the soft pairing custard. What makes it different from the gel type baked custard? So basically, if something it is soft, it means that, okay, what makes it different from the one that it is baked? So this one, it is more like a liquid form. The baked one, it's more solid. It binds, it binds more than the other ones. Like it won't gelatinize. It won't be form of something that you can drink. But I think the best example is that if you remember that the soft custard, it is the one that you can drink, but the baked one is the one that you need to eat. It is more solidified. It is more solidified. So the steps of preparing this is that this one, the soft one, it is a stirred custard. So the egg, milk, flavoring are heated over a low heat. So one thing I like about catering, if they are asking about the two things, which are the difference. So if you remember the points of this one, you can make them opposite of the other one. So if you say this one, they are low heated, that means the other one it is what, high heated. So since a lower since a lower since a lower heat is essential, a double boiler should be used. So a double boiler should be used. So the custard is ready when it coats the back of the metal spoon. So if you have prepared a custard, you will remember that once the custard starts to coat back, that means it is ready. So the custard is not very thick. So when it is cooked, the custard should be removed from the heat and allowed to cook. So stirring helps to facilitate the cooling. So when you are stirring it, you are helping to facilitate the cooling. So overcooked stirred custard will develop an unpleasant lumpy watery appearance. So the baked one, you heat the milk, you pour onto the lightly beaten egg, stirring. Then when making dessert or sweet baked custard, the mixture should be served before baking to remove the glaze. So you mix, then you bake, then you remove the topping of it before serving. So that's basically the two types of custard. So the effect of heat on eggs. So when we speak about the effect of heat on eggs, we know this, that the effect of heat, if you expose eggs to heat, number one is what it coagulates. Number two, it's more likely to shrink. Number three, it will carbonization will take place, the color will change. So these are the four effects of heat on eggs. So just know them in case the examiner wants to give you 4 marks or 2 marks. Already, if you know the four, you can tell the two that, oh, it changes color, protein coagulates, carbonization takes place, protein shrinks. So you are set. Traditional egg dishes. So this one, I like to say, I always like to say that I'm going to upload short videos where I will be showing traditional dishes. So the reason I always do that, it is because I believe in visuals. If you see something and if I explain something that you see, you won't forget. You can recall the images when we are during exam times. So you can call the images during exam times. So preventions or preservations of eggs. How do we preserve eggs? How do we make eggs last longer? So preservation methods, it is that we need to pasteurize eggs to preservation of eggs. Number one is what is pasteurization. So pasteurization is a preserving method. So cold storage. So you preserve eggs by exposing them to cold storage, by freezing, by drying. So all these four methods, they are also important information that you should know when it comes to storing, how to make eggs last longer. So basically, when they're asking about preservation, they want to know if you want to preserve eggs from getting rotten or getting wasted. You will remember, as I've said, some of the things they are going to be easy to remember because we have already discussed when we were storing eggs. So preservation methods is that you are going to pasteurize eggs, you're going to expose them to cold storage, freezing point, drying. So basically that's how you pasteurize, that's how you preserve your eggs. So make sure you like and share, you subscribe for more content that will be uploaded so that you get the ones that I didn't explain due to visual. I didn't have time to explain the visuals, so I'm still going to explain using the pictures. So that's why I say always encourage my viewers to subscribe and share to motivate me keep making more videos. So I believe in studying where there's progression, studying where people are interested in wanting to listen, wanting to hear what are you going to say about this module. It will make your knowledge more advanced. It advances you in such a manner whereby you tend to feel confident when you're about to say something, or even if when you're reading, even if I'm saying wrong things, it gives you the pleasure of wanting to correct me. So I like that. I like people who are correcting. So as soon as you correct, as soon as you start seeing, oh, here you made a mistake, you wanted to say this, I can comment down the comment section and say, it basically on the when we were explaining what you made a mistake here and there. I will appreciate that. Remember, no one is perfect, guys, so we are all learning. Basically, as I'm doing this, I'm also learning too. So subscribe, like, comment how you feel, where you think I should focus more on, trying to explain the topic that you think I didn't explain proper. Tell me so that I try to dive deep in the topic. So yeah, see you guys on my next video.